So let me now turn to the positive roles of religion, which speakers at this conference will focus on. The role of religions in fostering peace, harmony, and justice. As scholars of religion, we know that religions share far more in common than what divides them. In the US, I'm often asked, which religions do I find most like Christianity? And I answer, all of them, and none of them, depending upon whose interpretation of the religion you're talking about. In Christianity, we can find people like the current candidate for US Secretary of Defense. His name is Peter Hegseth, who's calling for a new American crusade. Strictly Christian nationalism. But we also find Reverend William Barber, leader of the Poor People's Campaign in the US, which reminds people that Jesus said that on Judgment Day, we will be judged on the basis of 4 questions. When I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was thirsty, did you give me something to drink? When I was naked, did you clothe me? When I was a stranger, did you welcome me? Among Jews, we can find people who believe that the Torah is a real estate contract, granting some people privileges that supersede those of all others. But we also find Jews who see the Torah as a mandate to establish justice for all, a mandate to heal the world, tikkun olam. Among Hindus, we find people who believe that India was created by and for Hindus, and those who recognize dharmic demands of ethical conduct toward all. Among Muslims, we find people who feel justified in discriminating against non-Sunni Muslims, and those who see Islam as a mandate for social justice for all. We can find Muslims who promote fear of the other and support government suppression of political foes. But we also find Muslims who support government initiatives for peaceful conflict resolution and social justice, regardless of religious, ethnic, or national or social identity. So yes, I find I have far more in common with non-Christians who struggle to recreate in society the equality that all people share in the eyes of their creator, as my mentor, Fazl Rahman, used to say, than I do with Christians or Jews or Hindus or Muslims or anyone else who thinks that they're more deserving of justice than other people. So I'm going to close with this. There's not much we can do about other people's religions, but there are things we can do within our own religious communities to foster the conditions necessary for religion's positive roles to flourish. We can help people understand the multiple roles religions play in our lives, including the ones that can be manipulated for negative outcomes. We can draw attention to the difference between religious identity and religious values. We can remind people that there's no merit in being born into any particular religion. Merit lies only in the choices we make, in making choices based on the values we embrace. And we can teach people not just about our own religions, but about other religions too, especially about the commonalities among religious values, in order to counteract the fears and hostility propagated by manipulative religious nationalists. Love your neighbor as yourself, says the Torah. Whoever loves all intensely begins to see in all living beings a part of herself and is enriched by each soul, say the Vedas. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, say the Gospels. Establish justice, even if it goes against you, your parents, or relatives, says the Quran. No one truly believes until he loves for others what he loves for himself, said the Prophet. And those values apply to all people, not just our own communities. If the Creator had wanted us to all be the same, we'd have been created that way. But we were not, so that we could be tested. So we should compete with one another in goodness. Piety does not reside in the direction of our prayer, but in how we treat one another. Surely the most noble in the eyes of the Creator are those who have internalized the divine command to do good and prevent evil. And finally, we can encourage working with others, even those outside our own faith communities, to collaborate on making our values of human dignity and justice evident in our societies. Because just as the values we hold most dear are shared across religious communities, so are the challenges we face. Social injustice, violence, environmental degradation at the hands of greed, the greedy, and those who lust for power. These problems will continue to worsen as long as we're divided against each other by identity politics. Our shared challenges must be addressed collectively, working together, based on our shared values of human dignity expressed through justice. That, I suggest, is how religions can foster peace, harmony, and justice. Thank you.